So, with E3 just about 2.5 weeks away at this point, and we know that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will be in the direct and we will be getting the next character reveal, I thought it'd be fun to look over four possible scenarios that could happen at the event so we can kind of plan accordingly. But then again, when you try to plan something Smash Bros., Nintendo and Sakurai, they do the opposite. So, I don't know. We'll end up seeing. So, let's jump into the first possibility. First one being a AAA Mega Gaming All Star. So we'll take Crash Bandicoot for example. Yeah, I know. How original. Crash Bandicoot and Smash. You've never heard that before. But here's the thing Crash Bandicoot might have a few things going for him, possibly. And the big thing is, because this has never been debunked, remember that leaked document or Crash's 5-year plan? Yeah, that could still come into play. Basically, the 5-year document, if you don't know, it said, all right, Crash is going to have quite a few games. So the Insane Trilogy, and then the Crash Team Racing remake, and then a mobile game, and then Crash 4. And then it's all going to end off with Crash Bandicoot coming to Smash Bros. In 2021. There wasn't ever a hard confirmation that it was going to happen, but that's what the leaked document implied. Crash was coming to Smash in 2021. Well, look at the year. It's 2021. Still 2 characters left. E3's around the corner with that AAA mega character. Crash would fit into that case very, very well, in my opinion. Second point for him, he has a very interesting history in gaming. And as we all know, Smash Bros. Ultimate is pretty much a celebration of gaming history. And think of the presentation. Sakurai sitting down and talking about talking about Crash Bandicoot on the early days of PlayStation, and maybe he even brings up, "Hey, Mustache Man, your worst nightmare is here." Could you imagine that? Ooh, that would be so fun. So this point here, this is a dream scenario for so many people. Mario versus Crash in the same game. Crash versus Sonic in the same game. That alone is enough to entice people to come buy at least his character pack, if not the entire Fighter's Pass, if they haven't already done so. So the idea of a dream scenario, yes, that will get people to jump on board immediately. And the last point, moveset, although you can pretty much say moveset for any character, but Crash's moveset is iconic. He's one of those characters that you can just think of before Smash Bros. And go, I wonder how he would play. Oh, I know how he would play. So he's very iconic and he's very diverse. So a few possibilities. Of course, Crash Bandicoot spinning, what he does. That's like his trademark thing. And if you think he's going to be an Incineroar Echo Fighter, you have no idea what you're talking about then. You don't know video games too well. But he also has his Fruit Bazooka that gives him a nice projectile to play with. And characters just need projectiles to play with. It makes them so much better, okay? And then plus, he's got a plethora of different crates, ranging from things like a TNT crate that could explode on contact, a bounce crate, you could use that for recovery or something, just jump off of it. And then, of course, what about Wumpa Fruit crates? I don't know, he throws it at somebody and it breaks open and a few Wumpa Fruit pieces are on the stage. Gobble that up and you heal a little bit of percentage. Not a bad idea. Possibility number 2, we're going to go with Legend of Zelda, specifically a big first-party character / series getting a reveal. Now, I know we just had a first-party character with Pyra Mythra. Would they really follow it up and go back-to-back first-party characters in the exact same pass? You could debate that. But the second scenario, a new Legend of Zelda character. So here's a few things that would go in favor of this. Now, the Legend of Zelda series, here's a fun fact, hasn't had an actual new character since Smash Melee. And before you raise your hand and say, what about Toon Link and Brawl? I said a new character. Not a reskin of a character we got in Melee. Not a character that was in Smash 64 Link. Just because you get a younger version of Link or then a Toon version of Link, it's still Link. Give me a new character, for crying out loud. There's so many possibilities. So, Legend of Zelda just deserves a new rep at this point for how important it is to Nintendo. And who could some of those possibilities be, you might ask? Well, point number 2. The plethora of characters to pick from. You got Skull Kid, Calamity Ganon, Lana, Impa, Linkle, Midna, Maybe even the champions somehow as a rotating playable character pack. You know, what are they? Rivali and Urbosa and the other ones, I forget. But you get the idea. There's so many different characters to pick from that it's kind of a shame that there's really only, if you want to break it down technically, there's only 3 Legend of Zelda characters, right? If you break it down for real. But then again, some people won't. Last point, it's the Legend of Zelda's 35th year anniversary, and maybe Nintendo wants to go really big on the situation and reveal a new character in Smash Bros. Right? Look, we know there's new Legend of Zelda. There is a Legend of Zelda game coming out in June, I believe. I forget which one that is. I'm not picking it up. I don't really care, but it has that whole amiibo paywall thing right now for like transporting or teleporting or something. I don't know. I didn't pay attention because I don't care, but you have that, and then there's another little something called Breath of the Wild 2 that I think a couple people might have heard of. So if Nintendo wants to go absolutely huge with Legend of Zelda's 35th year anniversary, what better way to support them in Smash Bros. As well as all other games and, stuff like that. Scenario number 3, niche characters. So, for example, I will talk about Saul Bad Guy from the Guilty Gear series. Now, first point, niche characters fly under the radar. They're picks, they're characters that rarely, if ever, get talked about in Smash Speculation. Smash Speculation has the same characters over and over and over again, but when you get a niche character that nobody expects, well, I think that makes the reveal that much more special, that much more enjoyable. You expect Crash Bandicoot, for example, and you get Saul Bad Guy, and you go, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. This dude looks kind of cool. I like this. I want to learn more about him. So niche characters flying under the radar, I think that's a point for, well, niche characters, I guess. And for Saul Bad Guy specifically, he is very distinct in terms of what he looks like aesthetically. If you can stand out in a roster of 80 plus characters, if you can look much different than anything else we have, bravo, props to you. Maybe it helps people want to play as you even more. Like, oh, that dude looks cool. He doesn't look like that plumber I have over there. Let's try out this dude. So if he can stand out, that's awesome. So the point, he's very distinct in terms of what he looks like. And the last thing, going back to moveset here, we talked about it with Crash. Let's talk about it with Saul. And the cool thing with Saul, I think, would be gimmicks that you could, and maybe even multiple of them. So one would be his tension meter that rewards the player for basically staying aggressive during the fight. And the other, I think this one might be a little bit more fun, an air dash mechanic, which would be a Smash Bros. First. Don't have that in the game. So air dash is a mechanic in the Guilty Gear games. So bring it with them into Smash Bros. It gives Saul so much more potential in terms of follow-ups, in terms of combos, starters or enders, even recovery. Just gives them something else to really go with. That separate, when you have a mechanic all to yourself, you just separate yourself from everybody else on the roster. So gimmicks, I guess, is the point here for niche characters. And last but not least, I'm going to go with Master Chief. And this is more of a, not just Master Chief falls into this scenario, but partnerships with other companies. So as we know, Nintendo and Microsoft over the past few years have been very, very friendly towards each other and have a very great working relationship. In fact, there is a there's a leaked document that has stuff to do with Nintendo and Xbox and some sort of partnership that hasn't been announced yet. It's very sensitive information. We don't know about that yet, and that could be so many different things. It could have to do with Smash Bros. Then again, it doesn't have to. It could be as simple as maybe Game Pass coming to the Switch. Who knows? That'd be something huge. But the idea is just working relationships with other companies and continuing to build on that. Second point for Master Chief would be Halo and the Xbox brand trying to grow itself in the Japanese market. Now, if you don't know, Xbox has been trying very hard to grow in the Xbox. They're trying to grow in the Xbox market? Of course they are. No, they're trying to grow in the Japanese market. They don't. They really don't sell too much over there. But here's the thing, business wise, if you can get your character, your company's mascot, in this case Master Chief, into a game like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that is ginormously popular in Japan, you have so many more characters, so many more people, I should say, so many more sets of eyes on your product, so many more chances for you to possibly sell your system, sell future games like Halo Infinite, and it's released some point later this year. But you have so many more eyes on your product, which is just good for business. So there's your point. Coming in, I guess Chief coming to Smash is just good for Microsoft. And the last point for Master Chief, I feel he is one of those he's one of those very few, very rare characters that would break the internet. So for this, I guess that's the whole point. Now I know Sakurai and Nintendo probably don't sit down during DLC planning or character planning and go, we need a character that will absolutely destroy and break the internet. Who could we get? I don't think that's a topic that they discuss, but I'm sure it's something they might bring up. Like, okay, what if we got this character? How much exposure would that bring our brand, our game, our series? You know, Halo might do that. Around the world, again, Halo's not huge in Japan, but, you know, United States, Europe, it's a huge series. So the idea of that possibly happening, ooh, that's just great for everybody involved, right? Very rare character that breaks the internet. Yes, sign me up. I love to see that. I love watching reaction videos. Even if people don't know who it is, people still somehow know who it is. So, yes, internet breaking character, give a point to that. So, there you go.